family and friends. It's such a wonderful time of year. And after everything we've been through with COVID, man, do we all need to get together and celebrate. Now, mocktails. I know many of you do cocktails. I'll be honest, I've never been a massive cocktail drinker. But what I've done recently that has had a big impact on my life is I've chosen, because of my menopause symptoms and being in midlife, to give up alcohol. Now, not completely, I still have it occasionally, but I've really started to experiment with white wines, red wines, sparklings, and some pre-mixes. And I've discovered that the mocktails are the go. I really, really love them. So I thought, let's throw caution to the wind and have a stab at making some today. I've got some pre-mix here, but also some key ingredients for you to make your own. Now, everything here is from my kitchen, with the exception of the shaker, which I bought in. Everything else you can buy at a supermarket. It's really, really basic stuff. The Liars, I've got some Liars products here, and Lewis will, my cameraman, my beautiful son. Hello, Lewis. Thank you for helping Mum. These Liars products I've discovered are the duck's nuts. They're really, really good. So I'll be using some of these today, but you can get them from Woolies, right? You don't have to go, or you can get them from Sands Drinks, the lovely Irene at Sands Drinks. If you want to shop remotely for all of your non-alcohol drinks, she's the one for that. Hello, Irene, if you're watching. So readily available. Let's go. Let's test with the first one. It's called, and it's off the Liars website, it's called the Liars Daiquiri. Now, I love a daiquiri. That was one of the few cocktails I used to have back in the day. So, what we need for that is we need some white cane spirit, which I think is like their white rum equivalent. That's what that is. We need 75 mils of that. Now, I know that a tablespoon, you see I'm not a bar girl. This is a tablespoon, typical measuring spoon stuff. So I know that a tablespoon is 20 mils. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, and a little dash. 75 mils of white cane spirit. Now, I pre-made some sugar syrup. This is 1 part sugar to 1 part water. You just bring it to the boil and then let it simmer very, very gently for 5 minutes. Take it off the heat and let it cool. And that's what this is, really, really simple. But it's used in a lot of these cocktails. So we are going to do 20 mils of sugar syrup. Woo, in she goes. And 20 mils of lime juice. Now that's something I did prepare earlier. Lime juice features in a lot of these mocktails. So 20 mils of that, which is a tablespoon, girls. In it goes. And a pinch of salt, optional. Don't have the salt here. I forgot to get the salt, but that's okay. So all we do with that, we then just add some ice. So this daiquiri is pretty much a lime daiquiri. Now you can go fancy with your ice and crush it a little bit too. I'm just not that kind of girl. Right, here we go. Whack it in my fancy shaker. I got this from Pillow Talk, and none of this is sponsored. This is, God, I hope that's on good. Lewis is giving me tips on how to... Nearly lost the lid then, Lewis. Oh, don't get too fancy with the shaking, girls. Is that enough, Lewis? Okay, that's looking good, he said. Now, you're supposed to strain it, so I'm hoping that this is enough. Now, with a daiquiri, Liars says to use like a champagne, the old-fashioned shaken, not stirred. Or, do I go high? Ooh, I do. Look at that. That makes a glassful. How awesome is that? And you garnish with a little bit of lime. I'm just going to rub that around the edge and put that on there. How does that look, Lewis? Pretty good? Excellent. I'm just going to give it the taste test now. Oh, that is really, really good. Wow. So this is the Liars Lime Daiquiri. I love that. A little bit of salt might have helped, but I love the sour of the lime and the sugar syrup and that undertone from the white cane spirit, which is the white rum. That is so good. Okay, great. Cocktail number 1 done. Hope you enjoyed that one. We're going to make some more soon, but rewind, have a look, and yeah, enjoy the Liar's Lime Daiquiri. Thanks, girls. Hi everyone, we're back, and this time we're doing something a little bit different. Back in the day, I loved a glass of scotch on the rocks. It was the way I relaxed at the end of the week. I really, really loved it. So I thought, why not make something that's whiskey based? Now, this is American malt. It's one of the Liar's non-alcoholic spirits from their collection, and I tried this yesterday on ice, and I've got to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's no bull. Absolutely. You know, you'll only get honesty from me. Even the smell is so much like a good scotch. So what we're going to make today is called the Liar's Penicillin, and we get, actually I think we do it in the shaker, 2 parts American malt. Now 2 parts is 60 ml. I just get my measure. This is a tablespoon, 20 mils in a tablespoon, so 3 of those, in we go. Now you can substitute this with regular scotch if you want. I'm sure the proportions still work, but this is our non-alcoholic version. Now we've also got 15 mils of honey ginger syrup. Now that's something I prepared earlier. There's a recipe which I'll put in the show notes. We call it show notes? Yeah, we call it show notes. What we call it show notes, Lewis? And there we go. There's 15 mils of that. It's just ginger and sugar, running honey, ginger and sugar. Beautiful. Then we get 15 mils of lemon juice. Again, something I prepared earlier. So organised, girls. There we go. In with a bit of tartness with the lemon juice. Then strong smoky tea. Now I've got a beautiful man here in Ashgrove who sells rugs, and he's a tea merchant from Iran. He gave me this tea, so I know it's beautiful smoky. Now this is 30 mils, so in we go with 20 and a little dash smoky tea. So already you can sense that this is going to be quite a smoky, deep kind of flavour in this particular non-alcoholic mocktail. Now what we do is we shake that briefly with ice. I'm not going to put too much in because I don't want it to lose too much of that lovely flavour. Listen to me, I'm sounding like a professional already. Okay, now Lewis gave me a tip in the break to say, Mum, make sure you hold your hand over the junction. Is that good, Lewis? Am I getting it right? Okay, right, I think that's good. Then we open her up, and we put it in a glass with some ice. Now it says to use a large ice cube. I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to put a little bit of ice in there. Fresh ice. Obviously having the fresh ice makes a difference. There we go. And we pour that in there. Beautiful. Ooh, and I got a jar of these. These are dried oranges, and I love that just to give it a little bit of more of a citrus tone. And then we garnish, keeping the ginger theme going. That's just some crystallized ginger, and that goes over the top as a garnish. Do you want to get a load of that, Louis? Come in close and show the girls what we've made. There we go. That's a Liar's Penicillin. Now for the taste test. I've not made this before, so you're getting the honest feedback, girls. Oh, now that's different. Wow. I think I would add either a bit of sugar syrup to it or a little bit more honey. Give that a stir. Yeah, that's perfect. Beautiful. Nice little orange tones coming through with that, and that depth from the American malt. So there you have it. That's the Liar's Penicillin. I hope you enjoy that one. Something a bit different. Hey girls, we are back working through the mocktails for your festive season. Now what I've chosen today are a lot of these Liar spirits, and we've used a whiskey spirit, a whiskey type spirit, and we've used a white rum spirit. Now it's time to focus on gin. G&Ts, awesome. Now, I know this is beautiful on its own, just with tonic and a bit of lime or lemon, but today we're going to make Liar's Gin Mule. It's a mix of two cocktails or mocktails together. So to make that, we get our shaker and we put, fill with ice and stir. No, we're going to go straight into this glass. Right, okay. Now, 2 parts Liar's Dry London Spirit. Now, 2 parts is 60 mils, which is 3 tablespoons, girls. You don't have to go out and buy a fancy cocktail measurer if you don't have one. If you do, good on you. Okay, so there we go. White sugar syrup, something we made earlier. 1/4 part. So, just a little dash. Not much at all. There we go. Okay. And 15 mils of lime juice. I did squeeze that earlier. In we go. Not quite a tablespoon. And 3 parts premium ginger ale. Effervescence. None of this is sponsored, by the way. That's what I've chosen. So, 90 mils. Oh, man, I should have brought 100 mil. Anyway, 90. 20. 40. 60. 80. And a dash, 90. Woo! There we go. That's the ginger ale gone in. And some mint leaves. Now, I did have some nice, beautiful, fresh ones, but they've gone a bit floppy in the heat because it's about 32 here today in Bris Vegas. Right, now we're just going to give that a bit of a stir. And then we add some ice. So this one you don't do in the cocktail shaker, you just do it straight into a glass. Now, confession, see that beautiful glass, which looks like fancy crystal? That's actually used to be a candle. Yeah, and the candle's gone, we cleaned it out. And now we use them for awesome mocktail glasses. Okay, I'm just getting some director's advice there from my son, Lewis. Thank you, Lewis, for that. Here we go, taste test. I've not tried this one before, the Gin Mule from Liar's. That is really good. Lewis, you're going to love this. That is awesome. What makes it? The lime and the mint in there is really, really beautiful. Maybe could do with a little bit more gin. Now, the other thing you could do is if you wanted to make this into a cocktail, you wouldn't necessarily use the non-alcoholic stuff. You just go straight for the real gin. And I'm sure the proportions are still the same. Oh, cheers. Really refreshing. Really, really like that. Very, very different. Cheers, girls. Hey, girls, we are back. And this time we're cooking. We're not cooking. We're making a mocktail. That's a very common one to make. It's just a fruit-based mocktail, and we're going to go muddling. Come here a little bit closer, Lewis, and let's start muddling. Girls, do you know what that is? Here we go. New term for me. But we grab our shaker, put it down the bottom, or a glass, doesn't matter, or a jug, whatever you've got. Just grab some basic fruit. I'm going to add raspberries to this one, but you could use strawberries, whatever fruit combo that you like. And I've also got some, I think they're blackberries and some blueberries. Now you can also use frozen ones if you want. And then you add your, we did have some mint, here we go. Add some mint leaves for a bit of freshness. And you get your stick. Now you can use a fancy muddler, but I've just used an everyday wooden spoon, but a nice thick end. And you just crush the fruit. That is called muddling. And this is where the professional YouTubers, where I got my tips from, what they do is they fast track this one, right? And I'm sorry for the thumping noise. There you have it. So that is muddled. Now I'm going to add a little bit of sugar syrup because I like my mocktail sweet. Give that a bit of a stir. Then you just add a bit of lime juice. I like a bit of lime juice just to freshen it up. I like that nice sour and sweet. And you just add some soda water. Bit of ice. Give it a stir. And a pour. Now, you can strain it if you like, but I don't mind the fact that there's some fruit in the bottom. Then you just garnish with a little bit of lime. Fruit mocktail. That's really refreshing. Very refreshing. Cheers. Well, there you have it, girls. I hope you've enjoyed our mocktail masterclass. Remember, you can choose to use regular alcohol if you like and turn them into cocktails, but I love the idea of a mocktail version as well. Happy holidays. I hope you have an awesome time with whomever you are getting together with, and we'll see you back in the membership, back in Sequins and Sandland. Cheers to you. Happy holidays. Thanks. Bye.